roar. Boot to bench and steel to floor, they face their wars. I raise my glass, I face the stones and frozen grass. Your tales of crowns, mine of crows, different battles, same red rose. garage where the sparks fly higher than the charge. Grease on my hands, but my heart's on a stage. Yeah, I'm tearing through the bars of this metal cage. I'll turn these busted bolts into battle scars from this old garage. I'll rise, I'll rise as a rock star. Doesn't care. In his faded concert shirt, he's a knight in battered prayer. Sees her laughing in the halls, sunlight tangled in her hair. Turns the volume up to drown every doubt that she's not there. In his room of iron dreams, he holds her hand chance to let her see. In his room of iron dreams, he holds her hand in burning scenes. Every heartbeat swings a sword, carves her name into the storm. In his room of iron dreams, he swears one day he'll cross that screen, walk the hallway, speak her name, turn the fantasy to flame. walk these roads in memory when duty builds its walls. But now he runs like a battle cry through cathedral halls of green. Every stalk a sworn ally in the war for one free dream. Raise your hand to the empty sky. Fields of the truants call his name. Graves like a golden tide wash the dust of desks away. He trades his books for waking dreams under a sun that breaks the rules. Metal heart, young and wild, skipping fake, skipping school. Let the bell keep ringing in a town that never knew how a boy became a legend in the fields he wandered through. Boxes in the dust, keys on a rusted nail. Old boards creak like ghosts, wind carves its ancient trail. Gravel on my boots, hard like a loaded gun. Thought I came here to be alone, to vanish from everyone. Then I saw her in the meadow, hair wild in the storm, bare feet in the black soil like the earth had grown her form. steel and fire. from loss, from feeling alive. excited. Grandma packs too many sweets again. Oh yeah. Car keys on the counter like a promise, hanging by a thread of drifting rain. He presses both his hands against the window, offers up his only secret prayer. If you're listening, maker of the weather, I don't want a kingdom, only this. 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 I don't want a kingdom, only death-shaped cage. Dawn walls thin as my resolve. Hear them preach while problems run. They quote saints in lecture halls, then trade souls in the parking lot. You call this wisdom? I see a market in a mask. You call this freedom? Barcoded future, numbered past. So I tear my name from your altar. Let your hollow banners burn. I will walk out through your thunder, own the lessons that I've learned. You can't keep your sacred campus built on sand and guile and shame. I'm dropping out of Eden. I refuse your poison name. Tenured kings and crumbling towers toast each grant, each sponsored lie. Preach change for 15 office hours, then sign the deal and step aside. Friends drown quiet in the grind, medicated just to cope. They frame the pain in glossy guides called despair, career path, hope. You call this learning? I see a factory of fear. You call it family? Why do I disappear? So I tear my name from your altar. Let your hollow banners burn. I will walk out through your thunder, own the lessons that I've learned. You can keep your sacred campus built on sand and guile and shame. I'm dropping out of Eden. I refuse your poison name. I won't bow to borrowed glory. I won't kneel to gilded lies. I choose scars instead of stories. Signed in ink, they supervise. Take this card, this plastic scripture. Cut it clean and let it fall. Hear the crack in stained glass silence when one voice walks out the hall. Hey! as I walk this road alone. Boots and fury, fists of stone. Now your purring cuts the rage like a blade across the cage. If the world comes crashing down, let it fall, we'll stand our steel claws, gentle paws, tiny king of all my scars. You jumped straight into my war, caught up on this broken armor. I was lost, you crossed my path, turned my curse into a laugh. Steel claws, gentle paws, now my heart is yours.